Hello, grade 9. This is Batul, an English teacher from the Qarib school. So, in the previous lesson, we had the listening and speaking that talks about detective stories in general or the crime scenes. And in today's video, we're gonna have the article about crime scenes. This article has two parts, this part and the other part. But before we start, let's answer the questions above. So, question number one, what does CSI stand for? What does CSI stand for? So, CSI stands for Crime Scenes Investigation. Crime Scenes Investigation. Question number two, have you ever watched a program about crime scene investigations? The answers are up to you. The title is Crime Scenes. Now let's start with reading the first paragraph here. Crime scene investigation is known as forensics. For every crime, there is a series of evidence left behind that can lead authorities to the facts behind the incident. Skilled professional investigators analyze every bit of the place until they know all the details of a crime, including the criminal. The word forensic means the use of scientific methods to solve crimes and to find out who committed them. Any science that is used for the intention of law-related issues is a form of forensic science. Now the second paragraph. A forensic scientist studies a lot of evidence at the scene. First, investigators talk to anyone who was a witness or might have been a witness without realizing it. This can give them important clues. Sometimes the victim makes a good witness. But because people can forget or remember events incorrectly, they depend on physical evidence, which is more reliable. Evidence. Here is some of the evidence that can exist at a crime scene. Fibers, glass, chemicals, soil, drugs, tire tracks, footprints, bullets, plants, handwriting, fingerprints, liquid, blood, hair, DNA. There is a lot more that a forensic scientist might find and study at a crime scene. Now, part 2 of the article talks about fingerprints and DNA. Let's start reading. DNA is often used to identify victims or suspects or to discover people involved in a crime. But what is DNA and how can it be used in such cases? DNA is like a secret code that exists in all human cells. DNA is a microscopic plant that structures details about us, such as how we look, which hand we write with, and even how tall we will be. Everyone and every living thing has DNA. Two people can't have the same DNA unless they are identical twins. Every DNA is different. That's why it may someday be used by investigators to identify all details of a person from their hair color to their abilities. Scientists are currently working on identifying all of the secrets that DNA holds. Now, this paragraph. In forensics, scientists can take a sample from the inside of someone's cheek or their blood and compare the DNA of one sample to the DNA of another sample to be able to tell they are from the same person. This can be very helpful in proving that a suspect is actually not guilty. This method of crime solving has been used regularly since the 20th century. Now, the last paragraph. Fingerprints are little ridges on the tips of our fingers and are different on every person. When a person touches a table or any other surface, they leave behind a telltale sign of their fingerprint. Forensic investigators then remove this fingerprint using a special powder and some tape. They compare this evidence with a fingerprint that has been collected from the person to whom they are planning to compare. Fingerprint specialists evaluate the small curves of the fingerprints to determine if they are the same. There are a series of fingerprint patterns which are similar in all people. So now after we have read the article about crime scenes, let's read the summary of it. So crime scenes, the summary. This is a summary of the first paragraph. Crime scene investigation, known as forensics, involves analyzing evidence left behind after crime to uncover details, including the identity of the criminal. Skilled investigators meticulously examine every aspect of the crime scene to understand the incident thoroughly. Forensic scene utilizes scientific methods to solve crimes and is applied to any science related to a law issues. Forensic scientists study various evidence at the scene, relying on physical evidence as it is more reliable than eyewitness accounts. Investigators gather information from witnesses, including victims, but challenges arise due to potential memory inaccuracies. The text emphasizes the significance of physical evidence in providing a more dependable source of information in crime scene analysis. The text outlines various types of evidence that can be present at a crime scene, including fibers, glass, chemicals, soil, drugs, tire tracks, footprints, bullets, plants, handwriting, fingerprints, liquid, blood, hair, and DNA. It emphasizes that this list is not exhaustive, indicating a broad range of items for forensic scientists to study. DNA. Now, the paragraph that talks about DNA. DNA serves as a unique identifier containing details about an individual's appearance and characteristics. DNA can be collected from the inside of a person's cheek or their blood in forensic investigations. Comparing DNA samples helps determine if they are from the same person, aiding in identification or proving innocence. Fingerprint ridges, unique to each person, are left behind when a person touches a surface. Forensic investigators collect fingerprints using special powder and tape, and specialists evaluate the small curves to determine similarity. DNA is a valuable tool in crime solving, and its use in forensic investigators has been regular since the 20th century. Okay, we're gonna continue reading the summary in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.